Hiya, I thought I'd do a tutorial on Adobe Premiere Pro because some people are saying they don't know how to use it. So the first thing that's going to happen when you open up Premiere Pro is you're going to get something that looks a bit like this. I'm using CS6, but the same sort of thing applies for 5 and 5.5 and 4 and presumably 3 as well. So we're going to click New Project and you're going to have this here. Don't bother changing any of this. And then just create the name of your project. So I'm just going to call this Test. And you can choose where to save it to as well. I'm just going to create a new folder. We'll test here. Then click OK. Okay, and now we need to select a sequence. Normally you would choose how your original video footage was recorded. This is not the default, but because I always edit video that was taken on my DSLR at 1080p and 24 FPS, I just go DSLR 1080p like that, and then you can change the name of the sequence if you want, but I just click OK. Right, and this is how it looks in CS6. I'm just going to change it to how it looks in CS5. Excuse me, I just had a drink. Right, so the first thing you're probably going to want to do is you're probably going to want to import some video. Go to File, Import, and then you can import videos or pictures. I'm just going to import some pictures here and create a slideshow of them. Right, okay. And then you can simply drag your pictures or your video into the timeline, just a bit like you do on any other video editor. Oh, whoops. Yeah, just like what you do on any other video editor, and then you can create slideshows and put video together. Now the first thing you're going to notice here is that your video, your footage, your pictures may look far too big. You just double click on them, and then if we go to Effect Controls, Motion, and then you can mess around with the scale to see how it looks. So once you changed it to 50, it's going to look like that. Whoops, no, wrong picture. Once you change it to 50, it's going to look a bit like that. For these pictures, 32 works best. So that's what I'm going to change them all to. If you get your project settings right, you won't need to do this, but obviously 1080p was not the correct project settings for this. Motion, fade to. Okay, so let's go through the buttons. This is the only button you need, it's just play and stop. This just skips forward, and this little button here takes a screenshot. So if we click play here, you see the video is going to play, or in this case it's just a slideshow. And that's great. Right, you probably want to put some transitions in here. So we're going to go down, I think as default it looks like this. You need to go down into Effects, and then you need to go to Video Transitions, and there's all these transitions you can use. And we're just going to drag them into the timeline where we want them. Now I'm not sure what these actually look like, because I don't tend to use many of these, but here we go. So it's going along, and then you can get transitions to look like that. There's a lot more you can do, and these transitions are customizable. Now one thing you're going to want to do when you're editing and you want to cut things down really precisely is you're going to want to zoom in on the timeline. On CS 5.5 and older, there's a little scroll thing down here that you can drag along, but on CS6 you need to hold down Alt, and then you need to scroll up to make the timeline bigger, or down to make the timeline smaller. And then the timeline, you can cut things down a bit more precisely. So we double click on this, you can change all sorts of everything on Premiere Pro is customizable, which is what I really like about it. So everything can be changed, and you know, stuff like that. So you can change, you can play around with all this. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I want you to have a play with it and see what you think of it. Now importing audio, that's pretty much the same as importing video. We just go to File, we go to Import, and then you just find some music, which I have a lot of. I'm just going to import this, and then we drag it onto Audio 1. Okay, and that's great. And if you want to make the music louder, we can click on it, we can go to audio mixer, and then we can really bring up the decibels. I let it fall. Like that. And then, yeah. And then that will make it louder, and then if you want to make it quieter, you can drag it down as well. And this button here, that mutes it. See it, you can't hear it. You can't hear it now. There's audio transitions as well, which is something that I really like about Premiere Pro that some of the other audio editors don't have. What the audio transitions do is they allow you to easily fade music in and out. So say we wanted to fade the music in at a certain point. Let's just cut this down. I'll explain about cutting in a bit. Just cut this down here and we go to constant power. So now the music kind of fades in, which is quite nice. Cutting video clips and audio clips is easy. All you need to do is you see this here, see this, just say we want to cut this clip, just highlight over it and then just drag it down or up depending on how long you want it to be on the screen for. Right, video effects. Now I don't often mess around with the video effects anymore. Sorry about this. I don't often mess around with video effects because I don't really need to. So well, all your video effects are here, all your chroma keying, which is great for green screening, or your distortion. Let's just try and put one on. We'll put an effect on, and then we go to effect controls. Yeah, you can, everything here is customizable, so look, you can change exactly how everything's gonna look, and that everything's customizable, which is another thing that I really love about Premiere Pro. The other thing I love is that if you get a file, is it file? I can't remember now. I've not done it in such a long time. But you can export. You can move things straight into the other Adobe applications, such as Encore, and yeah, so you can just burn it straight to a DVD. Right, and then once you're done, and oh, I haven't told you about titles. Sorry, this is a bit of a hastily organised video. I kind of just did it on the spot. Titles in Premiere Pro are really good. So we go to File, New, and then we're going to go to Title. Now you can import PSD files from Photoshop as your titles if you like. There is definitely a way to do that. But we're going to stick a title here. And there's all these different designs, and the titles are also extremely customizable. I like this one the best, so we're just going to say Premiere Pro. Highlight it. We can change the font size up here. 300's a bit big. 250 seems alright. We can change the font, and if you look down here, there's all these different options that you can change. So this can be blue. So say we wanted that as our title. Now the title appears here, so we can just drag it onto the clip where we want it. And there's the title. Then we can add effects and transitions and other stuff to that as well if we want to. Now when you're done, you're probably going to want to export your video. So we're going to go to File, Export Media. And this is going to export the whole thing. Now as default it will put it in AVI and NTSC. The format that I like best is H.264, and then depending on what video you're editing, choose one of these presets. CS6 added a buttload of presets that 5 and 5.5 didn't have, but because my DSLR records in 24 FPS, I'm going to go for this. And we want to make sure export video and export audio is on. You can use best render quality if you want, but that's going to take a long time. And then you'd hit export, and that would save your video as a MP4 file in this case, but you can choose whatever format you like. So hopefully that's given you an insight as to what you can do with Premiere Pro, and I'm sorry this probably wasn't the best tutorial ever.